What's up, YouTube universe? I just wanted to come on here and give y'all an update. Um, I'm sorry. I'm going to just say that up front. I know last year during this time, same thing kind of happened um, with getting busy with the fishing tournaments and everything. And there was a large period. I don't even remember how many months it was last year. So I'm doing better than that. But I've really wanted to try to do something every week, try to upload it. But I'm sorry, I have not been able to do that. It's not for lack of trying. Work has been incredibly busy. You can see right now, I just got home from work. Filthy. I need a shower. I need to eat dinner. Also, you know, this weekend there's a fishing tournament. I'm waiting until tomorrow before I find out if the person I normally fish with, I don't have a boat, so I fish with my uncle and he has a boat, so I'm really only able to do tournaments that he's able to do. If he's not able to do one, or if he fishes another tournament, like a series with another partner, and he's been fishing that for a long time with the other partner. So, um, but there's a tournament this weekend, and I'm waiting to hear from him tomorrow if he can do it or not. I've made a decision that if he can't do this tournament, if he can't swing it, um, then I won't be able to do it unless I just want to fish it myself, and I can only bank fish without him. This particular tournament allows you to bank fish. A lot of them that we fish don't allow you to bank fish. You have to be in a boat, that kind of thing. Also, this tournament, the first prize, if you catch the largest bass, first prize is a truck and a boat, a brand new truck and a boat, and that's what I need. That's what I really want. And the old truck that I have, it's not in really any kind of shape to pull a boat. Even if I won, some of the other tournaments they give away just a boat to the first place, I would still have to figure out a way to get a new truck, and I really can't afford another note right now. So something like this, that's the only reason I've kind of decided, regardless of whether I hear tomorrow whether he can do it or not. If he can do it, that's great. We'll be out of the boat. We'll probably only be able to do 2 days because he has something going on the third day, which is fine. Um, but I've made a decision that if I hear tomorrow that he can't do it because this tournament is what it is, and it allows me to fish off the bank. And I understand that I'm probably gonna get laughed at or made fun of. I understand. I don't have a truck and a boat. I really want one. If I was to win that, then I would be fishing every tournament I could. I wouldn't be restricted to only what my uncle was available to do, or with me or whatever. So I have to throw my hat in something like this. If this was just a regular tournament that like small cash prize or even medium sized cash prize or something like that, I probably wouldn't do this. But being that this is it's a tournament series that we fish every year, and the first prize is always a brand new truck and a boat. Now, how realistic is it that I'm going to be fishing off the bank and catch the biggest fish? Probably not. But I know one thing: if I'm not fishing in it, I have zero chance of that happening. I know it's probably really low percent, but if I'm in the tournament, I have a little bit of a chance. There is a chance that I can do it. It's probably very low. I get that because I'm gonna be restricted. This lake we're going to, or if I happen to go to the lake that the tournament's on, it's not a lake I grew up on. I only started fishing it a few years ago with my uncle when we got in these tournaments. It's a lake I've always wanted to go to, but I don't know a lot about the bank access. I'm gonna have to kind of on the fly find places. Probably it's gonna be boat launches, and then from the boat launches, how far I can go, depending on. Um, I don't know if you guys have ever bank fished, but when you bank fish, you're fishing off the bank, and you have to have places to go. You have to have if it's in a really wooded, swampy area that's hard to get through, you're not going to be able to you know really fish that. I mean, maybe a little bit into there, but I'm gonna have to if I hear, which I'm probably gonna go ahead and do this tomorrow anyway. You know, early as I can. I mean, I do have to work tomorrow, but um, I'm gonna need some kind of live well system. So because wherever I'm at around the lake, if I catch something, I'm gonna have to keep it alive because when you go weigh the fish in, um, the fish has to be alive. So I'm gonna make a live well out of a cooler, and I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm gonna go get the stuff I need and do that regardless because, and even if I do hear later in the day that he's available, he can do it, the tournament, that's fine. I'll go drive up there and we'll fish out of his boat, and that's fine. But I'll have this made because this particular tournament series, they have other tournaments on other lakes that if I'm allowed to bank fish, you know, it gives me an opportunity. I would have to have something like this anyway. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. What else? Okay, the reselling side. And I know this video, I don't even know what I'm going to call this video yet. I really, literally just, I was looking at this morning, you know, at work, and I'm like, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since I made a video, and I don't want to fall into the same thing I did last year where, I mean, I'm really busy, but I don't want to go a super long time. I appreciate every single one of you that subscribe to my channel and you watch my videos. I really, really appreciate that. So I feel like the least I can do is try to make as much content as I can and put that out there for you. I realize that I don't have a big audience, but the people that I do, y'all that are watching my videos, I appreciate that, and I want to, you know, make content on a regular basis. I want to say next week's gonna be a lot better, a little bit slower than it has been. This week at work, we're wrapping it up like a busy season, quotation marks, and it should slow down in the next week. So next week, I plan to make some more content. Okay, the reselling side. I have sold some more stuff in between there. I don't sell a whole lot. Y'all know that, but I have made some sales. I still need to make the video and order some more stuff, but I think I've decided what I'm going to do is those shelves y'all saw me put out there. I have the one right here, but I have 2 more out there. Y'all saw that when I did, you know, the kind of straightening up in the other room, taking things out of boxes, putting them on shelves. I think I'm going to move those 2 shelves in here for room and to store stuff. I'm still need to order some more shelves, but that'll give me a chance to look and really see what I need shelf-wise. That account has more money than it did, obviously. The last time we checked it, it's considerably grown. So I have the money now in there to order some more shelves. But this is all going to look different. And I'm thinking about also for room, in my laundry room in there is kind of where I keep my fishing stuff. And I think I'm going to try to put that in here too somewhere because it'll just clear up some space. I have a shelf that I want to do some stuff with, like fishing wise, as far, not this kind of shelf, it's a different one, but that may, this is all going to change, so y'all may see that the next video hopefully. But on the reselling side, so what I did, I think it's been 2 weeks ago, there was a local like community flea market trade days type deal that I saw, and I went and I sold there. You know, went and bought a pop-up tent, which, you know, all that comes out of the account that I, you know, where I sell stuff out of. So it did drop a little bit for that, and I had to buy something else. I can't remember what it was. But a lot of that glass stuff y'all saw me put on those shelves, I've mentioned this before, but I would rather sell stuff like that, you know, hand to hand, rather than having to ship. I don't mind shipping because, like I said, I have a lot of, you know, styrofoam and bubble wrap, and I'm pretty confident that I could get something secure, but you just never know. And, you know, the carriers, if they're throwing stuff around, sometimes it's out of your control. So I would rather sell that kind of stuff like face to face, hand to hand. So I went to that thing. I sold a couple of things. I didn't make a lot of money, but I just kind of got to feel that one out. That one, they do it the second Saturday of every month. I plan on going to that one as long as there's not a fishing tournament that weekend. I plan on hitting that one. I found out about some more while I was there. Some other vendors next to me were telling me about some other ones, and there's one that's every weekend that's actually about the same distance as the one I did or closer, and it's supposed to be larger. And I'm going to try to hit that one as often as I can on the weekends. So, I have the fold-out tables already, kind of like this one. I have some more in the shop, or the portable building out there. So I'm gonna. I don't know. I probably won't be able to film there. I'm gonna ask. So I don't know if y'all would be interested in seeing that. I'm sure y'all have all seen that. All it is like a community space where vendors come and set up the little pop-up tents, and they sell all kinds of stuff. Whatever that, some people make stuff by hand. Whatever it is. So it's that type of deal. I don't know how the people there would feel about it, so I'm gonna ask. But I feel like if I can get that rolling, that'll help. Doing the Whatnot, I need to get back into Whatnot to understand that, and I need to be listing stuff, and I need to stay with the online. But having that as another tool, especially to get rid or to sell stuff face to face, prevents it from having to be shipped and possibly broken, is a huge benefit. So, like I said, I don't know if I can show y'all that. I'm gonna ask, the next time I'm there, or the different ones I find, to see if they're okay with it. I can always tell the people, if I am filming the interactions or whatever, if someone doesn't want to be on camera, I can edit them out. I don't want to upset anybody. And so remember, what was it? A month ago. I don't remember how long it's been now. When I did how many items I had in the death pile. So there's some more stuff I have here that I've acquired, and this is something that I acquired from a friend, and I'm basically kind of like online consignment, if you will. Like, I'm gonna sell this stuff, and then we're gonna split the money. It's his stuff, but a lot of it's brand new, like a cordless drill set with like a stud finder in it, in the box still. A Cuisinart griddler, you can do grill inside hamburgers and stuff like that. The fogger, and then there's a box over here that's full of tools. There's a box and a bag and then another box. And when I say tools, like sockets, wrenches, stuff like this, like a whole set. There's standard and metric, the different ones, but there's like wrenches, and then there's the same thing like the sockets, different sizes, different size sockets. Like I said, there's metric, but it's like a whole set or whatever, and they're all kind of held together with like zip ties, so they're not like in boxes, but they still have actually the price tag from the stores on them. Like each one of these are like $3.99 or $4 a piece. So I need to get online and research and see, what these tools. I might even take these with me to some of those, trade days, or the community sales, and see. I'm not too worried about the weight. I know that's with tools like this, some people, kind of freak out about how much it's going to cost to ship. I have a lot of the USPS flat rate boxes, different sizes, that I got like in the very beginning when I first started doing this. So, especially if somebody like wanted 2 or 3 sets of these, like say they wanted like the 1/2 inch for their 1/2 inch set or whatever, the 3/4, whatever. Combining those and being able to fit them in those flat rate boxes, it's only going to be that flat rate price, regardless of how much it weighs. So, I'm not too concerned about, because they're small. Yes, they're heavy, but they're small, and I can fit, especially if it's a bulk order, several different sets. I have a bunch. There's in a box, and there's a whole bag full behind that, different ones. So, yeah, that is that's some stuff that I guess you can say that's like adding to the the death pile number. So like, I don't remember what it was the last time I did the death pile update or whatever. I need to make another one of those and you know, fill you in with what has been listed or whatever, because that's what the death pile. It's not really things that are uh, online that haven't sold yet. This is things that just need to be listed or sold, like at because the items that I sold at the community sale were part of that death pile that hadn't even been listed yet. And I meant to take pictures. I'm going to take pictures of the other stuff before I bring it. That way I can show y'all exactly what sold, because a lot of that stuff um, I don't have pictures of it to even tell you what it was or whatever, the things that sold. So if you guys are interested in looking out for certain things. Um, so on the reselling side, I believe that's it as far as like an update. I don't think there's anything else. I really wanted to just tell y'all about the community sales, and I'm going to be doing those, as often as I can. I don't know how often I'll be able to do it, but I really need to use that resource as much as I can, especially like I said, the glassware and stuff like that. And I don't want to get long-winded here. I'm not trying to make this a long video, but I just kind of want to make sure I cover everything. This is basically just popping in to say hi, and again, I appreciate every single one of you that watch my videos, and I'm trying to grow, and I know the number one rule that I hear everybody say is when you're trying to grow is consistency. Upload videos, and if you broke like what I'm doing down in the different categories, I'm probably the worst at that category. I don't know. I'm probably not good at editing and all that other stuff, and haven't learned. I don't have really a lot of tools as far as like how to make cool graphics and stuff like that. I don't really have that skill set down either. But I feel like the thing that I can control right now, somewhat, should be the how often I upload something. And right now it's just I'm burning the candle at both ends with work, and like I said, the fishing. I put the one fishing video out, and that was just a fun day of fishing. I did record in one of the tournaments that we did. It was that little smaller local tournament. Um, we didn't really do that great. We caught fish, but I mean, actually, in that one, I did really terrible. My uncle did all right. Like the fish I caught weren't even fish that like it was, that were gonna help. Like they're not even the species we needed, which is weird. So, but we were like one fish away from getting in the money. So we weren't that bad weight wise and placement. Um, the other tournament that we did, the big one, the last time I gave y'all the update when I was on the road, we were at his house before we left. That was a rough tournament. I hate cold weather. I don't know if y'all know that, but I hate cold weather. It was freezing cold, and it was raining, and the wind was blowing. On the way up there, it's in, well, the town we go to, we stay in, is called Alba, but it's on Lake Fork, and Lake Fork has several towns, depending on what side of the lake you're on. But the way we were driving in through like Gladewater, Texas, Hawkins, Mineola, into that area heading towards. We were maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes away from where we were heading, where we were going. Driving, and the storm clouds were rolling. I knew there was a severe weather threat that day. I kind of told my uncle about it. I said there is a slight. I think it was only 5%, but it was a slight chance of severe weather, tornadoes and stuff. Well, we're driving, and our phones start going off, and there's tornado warning. Like a warning actually means on the ground, whatever. So I started looking, and then I'm a weather nerd. I like weather, so I have like resources that I can pull up, whatever, and find out, especially during hurricane season. But even just severe weather stuff, I like. I've always been interested in stuff like that. So I pulled up some stuff, and I'm trying to find out where this is. It's raining pretty hard where we're driving. But my uncle was concerned, and I kind of was too. We need to know where this thing is so we don't drive right into it. If they're saying it's a warning, it's already been confirmed or radar confirmed, whatever. I didn't know at that point if it was on the ground, for sure somebody had spotted it, or if it was radar confirmed, indicated by radar or whatever. But so I started pulling up this stuff, and then like one of the resources I like to, I call it a resource, but it's actually another YouTuber. He's really good. There's a couple of them like him, but he, he makes videos about, and he goes live during severe weather events and stuff like that. So I figured he's probably live today. So I pulled up his channel, and he had a live video going. As soon as I clicked on, the very first thing I heard was, I had it on speaker. Obviously, it's YouTube, so it's playing loud, so my uncle can hear it too. First thing he says is, "If you're in Mineola, it's coming right for you. So take shelter or whatever." And we're in Mineola, and my uncle's like, hold on, let me figure out. I don't know. It's not a big town, but still, where we're at in Mineola and where it's going. I don't think it was like a huge wedge F5 tornado, EF5, whatever. I still call it the old Fujita system. The enhanced Fujita system, I understand, but I've always, I don't know, maybe being lazy, but I still use the F. I don't always say the EF. Behind times, I guess. But anyway, so I was thinking that surely it's not a EF5, that's going to be the width of the whole town or whatever. Or the town, the part of the town that we were driving in on the road we were in. So I started looking, and we pulled over at a Dairy Queen. And I'm looking and kind of on the map. And my first thought before we did that was, I told my uncle, I said, you know what? If it's heading right towards Mineola, just keep driving. Let's just get out of Mineola, because we're not that far from being out of Mineola, and we'll be heading towards Alba, and we'll be good. Because if it's heading here, we keep going, we'll get away from here, and we won't be in the path anymore. But he was concerned that maybe would be ahead of us, and we would run right into it. So I said, okay, let me look for sure, whatever. And it turned out that kind of where it was heading was kind of back behind where we had just came from, like Hawkins, the town before, and kind of in between there and Mineola. So I told him, moving in the direction we were going, like heading toward our destination, is actually going to take us further away from, where it's heading. So we got back on the road, whatever. But I mean, it was kind of within a few miles of us, and it was kind of, nerve-wracking, to say the least. We got there, and I was actually, when I was checking into the hotel, I was talking to some of the people there, and they were like, yeah, there was another one that just came like an hour ago, and people here at the side of the lake, whatever, here at the lake, outside, you can see it across the other side of the lake. They said the tornado, the one it was just kind of more like towards in between Mineola and Alba, so it was like the other side of Mineola. That was before we got there, like an hour or something before that. But anyway, it was bad weather. Kind of all weekend it was rainy, kind of bad weather. Day of the tournament, it was 45 degrees, and it never got above 45. From the morning was raining and 45. And my fingers were frozen. And I know there's people who fishing colder than that. I get it, but I'm not built for cold. I mean, I was happy because I was fishing, but at the same time, I was wishing that the sun would come out. But it was a hard day. And I mean, we caught fish. Everything we caught was either too big or too small. And I say too big or too small. I'll give you, if you don't understand what that means. Lake Fork is a slot lake. So from 16 inches to 24, that's called the slot. You can't keep anything in that slot area. You can't weigh it in. You can't don't even bring it in. Even if you're fun fishing out there or trying to catch you some dinner, those fish are off limits. Below 16 and then above 24, good to go. So everything we caught was like even in a slot, or when I say too small, we have like a radio there in the boat we can listen to. Like there's a local radio station that announces the weights that are coming in every hour. So we knew about what it was taking. And later in the day, I caught one, and we held it for a little bit that probably would have got us in the money earlier in the day. But later in the day, the weights typically go up, and it wouldn't have. By the time I caught it, I held it for a little bit in the live well, but I threw it back because I realized that it was taking, I think this was 175, 177. It was well over 175, like 177, 18, something like that. As far as like, so the way they weigh there is they don't do it in ounces. They do it like in the fraction of ounces. So like a 1.5 would be like a 1.5. Well, that'll be a pound and a half. That'd be like 1 pound 8 ounces. So like a 177 or 180, something like that, would be like 1 pound 13, 14 ounces, something like that. And that's about what it was. And I think one of the first hour or so, maybe the first hour, like I think it might have played, I might have got paid like one of the lower spots, but everything else, I think the rest of the day was taking like 2 pounds. And when you get to 2 hounds and you get to like 2.5, you start running into that 16 inch. So, a short football there is a great fish. Real short. It's under 16, but weighs a lot. But we didn't cut a check, so we didn't have a successful tournament, I guess you could say. Cold, windy, raining, wet conditions all day. It didn't stop. Once we got off the water, once the tournament was over, rain had kind of stopped and it went up a few degrees, but I think the high that day was only 50, something like that. So that's how that tournament went. I didn't get to film that. It's hard to film in the boat. It's my uncle's boat, and I'm trying to be respectful, and I take this serious, and I don't want, when we're fishing, I don't want him to, and I've kind of seen it like one day when I was filming, one of the days I told him I said, first off, it's hard. I don't have, a lot of the equipment that I need to rig. It's not my boat. I can't rig up, but like you see some of the, if y'all have ever watched like a YouTuber who's a fisherman or whatever, a professional or just somebody who goes out, there's things you can buy. There's mounts. There's other things, GoPros and things. I'm using a phone. But in the one video I did, I have the chest strap that I got that holds it. That was the view. I did film another day that was just a kind of a practice fishing day. I kind of had it positioned somewhere else, like kind of over here by my seat on the boat, on the console actually. And it's a different angle, and I'm going to try to make that video too, just to kind of let y'all see that. But if it was my boat, then I could rig up all kind of stuff, and it would be a lot better. The angles, the quality, stuff like that. But I can't. So I don't know how much more I'll be able to. I just kind of wanted to show y'all that. I don't know how much more I'll be able to actually film. On fun days, not a big deal, but on tournament days, I just kind of. It's not that my uncle gets mad. He didn't get mad or say anything, but you can just kind of feel like if something is out of place, like that's the first thing it's because you're messing with something. You're not focusing on what we're supposed to be doing, trying to, well, you know what I mean. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that, but and I'm in his boat and I want to be respectful. So, like I said, if I can get my own boat and a truck, I'll make fishing videos all the time. Tournament, whatever, I'll record everything. I'll get mounts and GoPros and all that stuff, which I plan on doing anyway. I need to get some of that stuff. Anyway, that's kind of, I guess, the update on the fishing front. One other thing is, I told y'all that I was probably going to move the fishing stuff in here, so you'll probably see that too, just because I'm trying to make room in there. Not only the area that y'all saw before against that wall, but also the laundry room and stuff. And it's just kind of things I need a place also for the fishing stuff. So that might be in the background here. I'm not sure how I'm going to arrange everything space-wise, but just know that I'm going to be redoing this whole area. But this thing over here, it's like what do they call those? It's like a underlay board kind of, and I'm going to actually make a pegboard out of it so I can, a lot of my soft plastics, which is like when you buy, if you don't know what that is, when you buy like, you can buy different kinds of fishing bait. You can buy the little bags that have like stuff like creature baits, which means it's shaped like a crawfish or something, or shaped like a little fish, but they're soft. They're pliable. Those are soft plastics. You can also buy hard baits, like the harder ones you've ever felt, like a rattle trap or something like that. That they're made with hard plastics, regardless of what it is. But a lot of my soft plastics, now the hard plastics you normally take out of the box, out of whatever it came in, and you put it like in your dividers in your tackle bag or tackle box, whatever you have. So that you throw away the box. But soft plastics, you usually leave it in those bags that come in for organizational reasons. You don't want to just dump them all into. Now I have seen some people that do the dividers and kind of put their stuff, but that's if you have a boat. If I had a boat and I had all the spaces and had the compartments, I could probably do that, and it would help a lot. But right now I don't have a boat, so my fishing gear, I have the poles, and then I have a bag, like a backpack, like a fishing backpack, and everything is everything I want to bring with me for whatever tournament it is, I have to decide and have to fit into that bag. Um, so all those bags, and over the years, you accumulate bags and bags of fishing baits, and I need to organize them. So I want to make a pegboard out of that that underlay piece of board. I actually found that out there in the portable building. Portable building was here when I bought the property, but they had a piece of that, and it's kind of warped a little bit, and it's kind of damaged in some spots. I'm not real concerned about it. I'm going to be making holes in it anyway, so I'm going to buy those hooks so you can hang the baits with to organize stuff. But I wanted to tell you all about that. That's what that is. And all this is hopefully going to be done next week. Moving into after next week, I think there's another fishing tournament we're going to try to do the following week. That'll be 2 weeks. I think it might be 3 weeks out. But I think just next week for sure. I don't think there's anything going. I may try to do the sale on the weekend, but I don't think we're going to do fishing tournament unless he calls me to go fishing, which I go anytime he asks me. I think y'all know that if I could, I would be fishing every day, all day. That'd be my dream. But if it wouldn't be for a tournament, it would be just like to practice or fun fish, if you would. But I think that's it. And again, this is mainly just a hello, hi. Sorry I haven't been uploading videos, kind of update thing. I'm not listing anything. I'm not going to get into anything like that. I just wanted to say hi, and I appreciate every one of you who subscribe and watch the videos. All the thumbs up, it really helps. The sharing, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to do better. I really need to figure this out, how I can upload more consistently. Somehow or another, I have to figure this out. Just schedule my time, block out time, whatever I have to do, to make sure that I can at least, I know it's not a lot, but at least one video a week. That's my goal. I know some people do more than that, but I think for me that should be a reasonable goal. So I need to go in there and shower, and like I said, I have a busy day tomorrow. I have work, and I also have to do. I'm committed to fishing this tournament. I hope my uncle calls me and tells me he can do it, or texts me or whatever, and that would be great to be able to fish out of the boat. You can access a lot more spots, but if not, I've already made my mind up that I'm going to fish it anyway. I'm going to drive up there, pay my dues, pay the entry fee, and try to find areas of the bank that I can fish, access. I'm going to build a live well. I'm also going to have to buy like one of those big wagons, those big black cage wagons with the big wheels on them, so I can pull that around the bank. A lot of the areas I know, like even if you have a parking lot, you can't drive in the grass all the way down to the bank. So I'm gonna have to have something. I'm gonna have to go buy one of those big wagon deals. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. It's not the little red wagons, like you had when we were kids, but it's like a kind of a big black cage, like wire cage, big black wagon. I don't know what you call them, but I've seen them and I've used them before. I don't have one, but I'm gonna have to buy that to put the live well, hold the live well cooler in, also to hold all my stuff, my bag and my rods and reels, while I'm and it's so wherever I go and fish, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna if it's a really treacherous woody area that I can maybe say, if I was by myself or I just have me and one rod or whatever, I could get through there, but I can't pull a wagon through there. Now I may be able to walk in a little ways and fish, but not too far away from because this cooler live well that I'm going to build is going to have an aerator in it and all that stuff to keep the fish alive, because I'm going to have to drive, once I catch something, to go weigh into the weigh-in site. It can't be, just a fish in the water in an ice chest. It's going to have to be aerated. It's going to have to be producing oxygen in the water to keep the fish alive. Because depending on where, that's how I end up fishing it, depending on where I am, the drive can be 30 minutes or more, depending on where I go from the weigh-in site. So, yeah. And I'll let y'all know It'll be next week, I'm sure, before y'all hear from me again. I may try to do some kind of little video from the lake if I can. I don't know. We'll see. Especially if I do something good. If I catch something really good, I'll try to update y'all. But if not, next week, look forward to another video, and I'll let y'all know how it went. But this has already went way longer than I really wanted it to. But like I said, this was just, hey y'all, how y'all doing? Sorry I haven't been uploading, and let you know, update on the reselling and kind of update on the fishing. That's kind of what I've been doing besides work, and work has been really busy. But like I said, this week we wrapped up what's, I guess you can call it the busy season. We have different seasons that we get busier, and this was one of them, and today was the last day of that. Tomorrow there's some more work with it to do with that, but not, I don't know, it's wrapping up. So I guess you could say tomorrow the little bit of stuff that, there's like one other aspect of what we have to do tomorrow. But the point is, next week it's going to be better. Now in the summer there's another busy season that comes, June, somewhere around there. So June, July, and August is usually busy too. But anyway, I say that to say that I should be able to put out some more content in the next, from now until the next busy season during this slow period. Kind of like I was before. But one a week is my goal. And I've even thought about maybe just going live. I don't know if y'all would be receptive to that or not, but that would be easier to not have to record something than upload it, all that stuff. If I could just go live and make a video, kind of give an update, whatever, and then I can make it public, so you can go back and watch the live like you would just an uploaded video. But maybe I'm thinking about that too. Maybe that'll help me to at least put out something every week, even if it's a live, whatever. But I hope y'all are doing well. And I know there's a lot of you out there that, like I said, you watch my videos every time I put them out, and I appreciate that. And some of you out there, you know who you are. I really try to support and help your channel. I'm rooting for you. I still am. I have not forgotten about you, and I've been lacking. I have not been able to watch or support, y'all and your videos lately as much as I want to. Always thinking about y'all. Always rooting for y'all. Hope y'all are doing well. But just know that that's what's been going on. So it's not that that I'm not interested in anything. I'm still really want to support my friends and help them grow as well. Support their content, watch their videos, give likes, comments, all that kind of stuff. Whatever I can do to help. Anyway, I'm getting off on tangents, and I don't want to make this a very, very long video, so I guess I'll end it there. And like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment. Let me know. If there's anything you heard in this video that, I don't know, questions, comments, whatever it is, concerns. But anyway, that's it. Like I said, I've got to go get a shower and eat something and get to bed because I have a long day tomorrow. So hope y'all are doing well. Hope you're selling a bunch. Say a prayer. If you speak to God, if you know God, just whisper some words for me that I'll have a successful weekend this weekend, because I'm going to finish this tournament regardless. I've made that decision. But also for the reselling, and I'm praying for all y'all too. So let's pray for each other. And I think that about does it. I don't know. I need to end this, and I keep saying that, and I keep rambling. But just keep rocking and keep doing what y'all are doing. And I don't know. I feel awkward now because I'm ending this awkwardly. I have so much stuff going on through my head, like all this stuff that I need to do. That's why I'm spacing out, mentally. That's what's happening. If you're wondering, you're like, what's wrong with this guy? So that's what's happening, and that's why I'm saying stuff that I'm just rambling on. I'm gonna quit now, but it's just I've got a bunch on my mind. So hope you're doing well. Love all y'all, and drop me a comment, say hi, whatever. Till next time. See ya.